I'm Shane from Shane Smith Law. Here today we're talking with Thomas, one of our attorneys here at Shane Smith Law, and we're talking about one of his recent client victories for his client, CT. Thomas, tell us about this accident. What happened?
CT, young man, driving down the highway, and all of a sudden in front of him, or actually behind him, there were three cars involved in this accident. You had car number one, car number two, car number three. Car number one, driving down the highway, extremely high rate of speed, wasn't paying particularly close attention to what was going on, and kind of did almost like a NASCAR maneuver and spun out the car in front of him.
Oh, wow.
That car spun sideways, and then while our client's driving down the highway, 55, 65 miles per hour, that second car was forced directly into the side of our client's driver's side where he's sitting.
So was it the spinning car's fault at all, or was it all the...
It was all the person behind them. They were completely at fault. I don't know what that person in the second car could have done to stop any of this. They were at the mercy of the whirlwind.
Wow, that sounds terrible and frightening and a nightmare, basically.
Yeah, for everyone.
What kind of injuries did CT have?
The biggest injury he had was, when you had that impact on the driver's side door, it threw his body into, threw his left shoulder into the driver's side window. He heard a pop. Got pulled off on the side of the road, ended up having a rotator cuff tear.
Okay, wow. Hearing the pop's got to be scary.
Yeah, it was a bad day from that moment on. This is a guy, young, strong, young man, likes to work out, likes to go to the gym. All of a sudden, he can't lift his shoulder.
So he immediately knew there was an issue.
Yeah, he knew that something had gone wrong. He knows his body, fine-tuned machine, and then all of a sudden something pops, and you don't have the same kind of range of motion that you had, minutes before.
So ultimately, what did he end up doing for his rotator cuff?
Yeah, he saw a trained orthopedic surgeon, and they recommended a 4-part procedure. That was a left shoulder arthroscopy to kind of clean it out there, and then there was a distal clavicle excision. It's also called a Mumford procedure. That's where the surgeon's going in and removing a small part of the end of your clavicle to reduce the pressure in your AC joint. And then they had what was called the subacromial decompression, and that's where they're kind of removing and reshaping structures in that subacromial space that makes more room for the rotator cuff. And then there was a rotator cuff debridement, partial rotator cuff tear debridement.
Wow. So that debridement, that's where they just clean off all the dead stuff?
Yeah, I think a lot of this, boiling it down is just fancy language for going in there and cleaning things up and getting it well oiled again so that you can, move.
It's scary to think about that inside of your body, but that's exactly what it sounds like. Yeah. Just getting rid of all the stuff that shouldn't be there and, like you say, just greasing up what needs to so it's working in. How did you recover?
He's still in the recovery process. Things have gotten a lot better. He went through physical therapy for a long time. He's still in the recovery process, but when it was all said and done, the surgery had happened. It's about 6 months down the road. He's like, Thomas, this is the best thing. I'm so glad we got on with you guys, and I got taken care of, got the surgery. I'm back to myself. He's starting a music career down in Atlanta, doing some pretty cool things. He's a little bit of a savant, so it was pretty cool to work with him and watch his life, over a 1 to 2 year period, and how things kind of got back on track once he started getting himself better.
Because I know the recovery time for a rotator cuff tear is usually very, very long. Was that the case here as well?
Definitely, yeah. It's I think it's, like I said, it's still going to be ongoing. It's going to be a slow strengthening process till he gets back to where he wants to be in terms of throwing up weight on the bar again, but he's getting there.
He expects to be lifting weights again and doing all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, incredibly happy with the results of the surgery and with the results of the settlement.
Well, Thomas, that sounds great. Sounds like he was grateful he had got you as his lawyer to get him to the right doctor who could fix him, rather than just say deal with it.
Yeah, go to physical therapy for the rest of your life and see what happens.
Yeah. It sounds like it was a great job getting him that victory and getting to the right doctor at the right time. So, great job.
Thanks.
To all our listeners, if you will hit like and subscribe for more client victories from Shane Smith Law, and click the bell for notifications. And always remember, Charlotte, if you're in pain, call Shane, 980-999-9999.
In pain, so I call Shane, 980-999-9999. In pain, call Shane.